Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. I'm Minerva Delgado, Director of Coalitions and Advocacy at the Alliance to End Hunger and one of your summit organizers. We've reached the end. This is our final session for the 2024 Hunger Free Communities Virtual Summit. I hope you've learned something new, made connections, discovered new tools, resources, and especially gotten some inspiration to take with you as you continue the important work of ending hunger in your community. We call this the Hunger Free Communities Summit because most of the information brought to you comes from our partners in the Alliance to End Hunger and the Hunger Free Communities Network. Through the Hunger Free Communities Network, we're working with over 50 groups in over 30 states to optimize their visions to create hunger free communities. We support these efforts of collective impact networks that are working to transform local food systems to make sure community members can access the nutritious foods that meet their families' needs. We know this work is best addressed locally because communities across the country are incredibly diverse. And through the Alliance, they are able to elevate community voices and needs from the grassroots, local, and state into action, and ultimately linking these efforts to national level advocacy. One of the ways we support the network is through conferring the Hunger Free Community Award. This competitive award is intended to highlight the great work of one of our partners in the Hunger Free Communities Network, a partner who has done outstanding work in the last year to address hunger and do this through a variety of different ways, whether it's reaching previously underserved populations, addressing equity in their communities, creating new partnerships, and or advancing innovative programs and policies. This year, the Hunger Free Community Award goes to Indy Hunger Network. Since 2009, Indy Hunger Network ensures that anyone who is hungry can access the food they need. They do this through convening a network of hunger relief partners as well as coordinating the movement towards a cohesive system that works to end food insecurity in central Indiana. We are incredibly grateful for their partnership over the years and really look to them for their leadership in this space. So we're thrilled to present this award and to accept the award and share about the fantastic work of Indie Hunger Network is their executive director, Kate Howe.
Hello from Indianapolis, and thank you for sticking around for the last session of the day after a long day of learning and inspiration at the summit. My name is Kate Howe, and I'm pleased to accept the Hunger Free Communities Award on behalf of Indie Hunger Network. I'd like to start by thanking the Alliance to End Hunger for honoring us with this award. The Alliance to End Hunger has been an incredible supporter of Indie Hunger Network and organizations like ours across the country. They recognize the importance of collaboration, innovation, and equity to improve food access for all in our country. The tools, trainings, and connections they provide have helped us to do our work better, and we're grateful for their expertise. Minerva personally has connected us to organizations from Vermont to California, and those connections have been invaluable for us. The Alliance also recognizes the importance of unrestricted funds to organizations like ours, who often have trouble explaining to donors why they should support an organization that addresses food insecurity but doesn't actually distribute food. The $5,000 award will make a meaningful difference for Indie Hunger Network in the coming year, and we're really, truly grateful. I'd like to take this opportunity to tell you a little bit about our work in Indianapolis and the impact that we've had. Indie Hunger Network started in 2009 in response to the Great Recession. Nonprofit organizations like ours, or nonprofit organizations in our city, saw that there were more and more people needing help with food as the economy grew worse, and they weren't sure how they would meet the growing need at a time when donations were declining. These organizations realized that this was a problem they would need to address collectively if they wanted to have any chance of feeding everyone in our community. Working with the mayor's office as a convener, 7 nonprofits started meeting regularly to share information and resources and to strategize about how to improve the hunger relief system in our city. Corporate partners, government agencies, and additional nonprofits have since joined the network as well. For several years, this was just a loose collaboration of partners getting together to talk. But as the benefits of working together became clear, they decided to apply for a 501c3 status and a few years later hire staff to grow the work. In 2016, I joined Indy Hunger Network as the first executive director, and since that time, our staff has grown to 13. The mission of Indy Hunger Network is to address systemic hunger issues and eliminate disparities in the greater Indianapolis hunger relief system through collaboration on programs, advocacy, and research. Rather than replicating the excellent feeding programs that are already provided by our partners, we have focused on innovation and on filling gaps in the system that are not covered by other organizations. Innovation and equitable access to food have been key focus areas of our work. One of the earliest programs we developed at Indy Hunger Network is our Food Pantry Network, which provides grants, training, and technical assistance to food pantries in our area. Food pantries provide an important service in our community, but we found that many were trying to feed people without any training in food safety, no familiarity with food banks and the resources that they offer, no experience with fundraising, and often limited knowledge of the people that they were seeking to serve. We've worked to improve the quality of food, consistency of the food supply, pantry accessibility, and cultural awareness. And to date, we've distributed over $1 million to local food pantries through our food pantry grants and Healthy Nudges programs. Over the past few years, we've prioritized funding to pantries that are led by and served by BIPOC communities to make sure that they have equal access to resources. We've also created a forum for more than 360 food pantries in central Indiana to learn from each other and support each other in the work through quarterly township group meetings and an annual food pantry summit that is free to all attendees. In 2018, we started work on Community Compass, an app that was designed to help people find food resources. We heard time and time again from people seeking food assistance that they didn't know how to find a food pantry or meal site. Often they found information posted online or printed on handouts that was out of date, and they were frustrated by trying to find resources that would meet their needs and to find current information about those resources. Starting with information from our local food banks, city government, and 211, and supplementing it with web searches, phone calls, and visits, we were able to put together a comprehensive data set to build an app to share that information with anyone who has access to a smartphone or a computer, even if it's just borrowing a free computer at the public library. The app launched in February 2020, just before the world shut down, and immediately became a key resource to people who were experiencing food insecurity for the first time or looking for new sources of food as their usual food pantry or meal site shut down, either temporarily or permanently. Since the app's launch, we've continued to add new features and improvements every year, and Community Compass is now available in 11 languages, covers the entire state of Indiana, and includes a SNAP and WIC screening tool. Over 150,000 people have used Community Compass to date. Our newest program allows us to take food access work a step further by providing hands-on food resource navigation through the Food Resource Services Hub, which we lovingly call FRESH. FRESH launched in early 2024, and we now have 3 staff members who connect community members to SNAP, WIC, senior meals, summer EBT, food pantries, and meal sites through personalized one-on-one conversations and application assistance. Our navigators meet with people in person at our office, by Zoom, by phone, or at a variety of sites in the community, including food pantries, libraries, and churches. We've also developed a partnership with Safe Park Indy, an organization that supports people who are living in their cars by offering them a safe place to park overnight and connecting them to supportive services. Through FRESH, we're increasing awareness about food assistance programs and helping people to access all the resources available to them. In the first 8 months of the program, we've already worked with over 1,400 individuals seeking help with food, so the need for this program is clear. Another important service we provide is Teaching Cooking Matters classes, providing free nutrition and cooking education to over 2,900 participants at 72 different partner sites across the city, including schools, community centers, shelters, and Head Start centers. We're gearing up to conduct our 7th survey of hunger in Marion County, which allows us to measure the state of food insecurity in our community and examine barriers to and opportunities for food access. And last but definitely not least, we engage in advocacy at the local, state, and federal levels to speak up for policies that will support food access and reduce food insecurity. Though advocacy is a long process full of twists and turns and often more setbacks than gains, it gives us the opportunity to contribute to lasting change that will have an even greater impact. After 15 years of working together to address food insecurity in Indianapolis, we've learned a lot at Indy Hunger Network. One of the most important lessons I've learned is that collaboration is hard, but it's vital. All the players in the food insecurity space have their own funding needs, program priorities, and constraints that make working together difficult. But because we've put in the time to build trust and set common goals, we've built a stronger system. This became really apparent during the pandemic when we were able to rely on each other as a community united in facing an unprecedented challenge. We worked together to build a home delivery program to provide food to those who were homebound, and we shared resources like suppliers and temporary staff so we could keep our community fed. As we enter a new era of uncertainty with a new administration already discussing dramatic changes to government programs, our network will need to lean on each other once again to navigate whatever will come our way and continue to fight for everyone in our community to have access to all the food that they need. We're grateful to have a network of partners across the country through the Alliance to End Hunger who are in this fight with us, and I look forward to continuing to learn from your ideas and successes. I'd like to close by once again thanking the Alliance to End Hunger for honoring Indy Hunger Network with this award. This is not just an award for our organization, but for all of those who've contributed to the work over the past 15 years. Thank you to all who've played a role in improving food access in Indianapolis.
Thank you so much, Kate, and congratulations again to the Indy Hunger Network for this well-deserved recognition. Hi, everyone. I'm Aaliyah Farad, the Alliance to End Hunger's Hunger-Free Communities Associate, and it has been an absolute pleasure to serve as a convener and capacity builder to help organize our signature event on behalf of the Alliance and the Hunger-Free Communities Network. This summit continues to serve as a very unique space where we're able to share ideas to inspire new approaches, strengthen connections, build lasting partnerships, and of course, celebrate the collective achievements of our network. Throughout the day, we heard policy updates and calls to action, explored what this election means for our shared work, and also learned about groundbreaking partnerships and programs that are advancing food and nutrition security in communities across the country. Looking ahead, there are so many opportunities that lie in the future for the Hunger-Free Communities Network. And as we continue to build on the momentum of this conference, I'd like to share some highlights of what's coming up. To start, we're thrilled to announce 2 in-person regional convenings next year. Birmingham will be in January and Seattle will be in the spring of 2025. These events supplement our virtual summit by providing in-person connections, regional collaboration, and hands-on engagement. This year, we've hosted 2 convenings so far, one being in Chicago and one being at our headquarters in Washington, D.C., bringing together local leaders and stakeholders for meaningful discussions and actionable outcomes. Secondly, applications for the Zero Hunger Grant will reopen this January, offering another chance to support and amplify impactful community-driven initiatives. So I encourage all of our HFC partners to consider applying and to spread the word with your networks. For insights and inspiration, you can refer to today's session featuring this year's grant winners, where they shared their groundbreaking work and early successes. And lastly, for those who are new to the Hunger-Free Communities Network or want to get more involved, we invite you to visit our virtual booth to learn more about membership and explore ways to engage with this incredible community. You can also reach out to us through Accelerants, and we can get back to you that way. To wrap up, all of today's content will be available on the Accelerants platform for the next 30 days. Just select Agenda in Accelerants and turn on Show Past Sessions to view them. And after that, everything will be accessible on our YouTube channel. But while you're still in the platform, please take the time to connect with each other by using the chat functions and the other networking tools that are available. Let's make the most of this opportunity to foster collaboration and build stronger connections. The conference may be winding down, but our shared mission continues, and together we can make a lasting impact, creating systems and solutions that ensure everyone has access to the food they need to thrive. A heartfelt thank you to the Excellence team and the fundraising company, our event planners, especially Mary Elizabeth, for her incredible support in putting this event together. We also extend our deepest gratitude to our cultivating sponsors, including Amazon, Bread for the World, and Share Our Strength, our enriching sponsors, DoorDash, Grubhub, and Islamic Relief USA, and our nurturing sponsors, the Congressional Hunger Center and Maison, a Jewish response to hunger. Thank you all for the support you've shown to the Alliance to End Hunger and the Hunger Free Communities Network. You have made this summit possible and have strengthened our collective efforts. So be sure to visit our sponsor booths in Excel events to get more information about our sponsors. And finally, thank you to all of our speakers, viewers, and supporters, our hunger fighters, for being an essential part of this journey. We look forward to seeing many of you at our upcoming events, and we appreciate you joining us today. So thank you so much, and see you next year.